What if I told you you could create a complete cinematic product ad without knowing editing, storyboarding, or even scripting? And the craziest part? This complete ad, all from just one sentence. But it's not just product ads. You could create a cinematic perfume commercial, a gaming trailer, a fashion promo, or even a short AI film, all inside one workflow. And you can do it directly inside CapCut Web using something called Video Studio. This is a timeline-free AI workspace that helps you go from one simple idea to a fully finished video project in one continuous flow. Today, I'm going to show you the entire process step by step, using only one sentence. So the tool we're testing today is called Video Studio on web https:/www.capcut.com.utm_source/chatgpt.com. And this is not just another AI video generator. CapCut Video Studio is a timeline-free, canvas-based production workspace that helps creators move from idea, script, storyboard generation, editing, export, all in one connected workflow. Instead of dealing with complicated timelines from the start, everything happens visually on an infinite canvas. So if you want to create product ads, UGG-style ads, cinematic AI commercials, gaming promos, or even short films, this workflow is surprisingly beginner-friendly. And yes, you also get 300 plus free credits, which makes it super easy to test everything yourself. So let's start from the beginning. First, open web https:/www.capcut.com.utm_source/chatgpt.com. Then, click on Video Studio. This opens the entire workspace where everything happens. And honestly, the first thing you'll notice is how different this feels compared to traditional editing software. There's no complicated timeline setup at the start. Instead, you're working inside a clean visual canvas where ideas, scenes, scripts, storyboards, and generated clips all connect together naturally. It feels more like building a creative project visually instead of manually editing tiny clips one by one. Now for this demo, I'm going to create a product ad, and I want to keep this realistic for beginners. So instead of using a huge script, I'll start with only one sentence. Here's the idea: a futuristic coffee brand ad where a tired creator drinks coffee and instantly becomes productive. That's it. Normally, turning this into a real ad would require scripting, planning shots, storyboarding, filming, editing, transitions, music, and effects, which is overwhelming for most beginners. But CapCut Video Studio helps structure the entire process for you. Now, this is where the workflow gets interesting. After entering the idea, CapCut Video Studio starts helping generate the creative structure. Instead of jumping directly into random video generation, the platform helps organize the concept first. So now we can build the storyline, scene flow, pacing, and ad direction. For example, Scene 1. A tired creator struggling late at night. Scene 2. The coffee appears dramatically. Scene 3. Energy kicks in. Scene 4. Fast cinematic productivity shots. Scene 5. Final product reveal. And this is exactly why the timeline-free workflow matters. You're not stuck manually arranging clips first. You're building the story before editing. That's a huge difference, especially for beginners who don't know where to start. Next comes the storyboard stage. And honestly, this is one of the coolest parts. Instead of imagining the scenes in your head, CapCut Video Studio visually maps them out. You can see shot progression, scene transitions, visual flow, and pacing structure. This makes the entire creation process feel much more organized. And because everything exists on the infinite canvas, you can easily move ideas around, expand scenes, or try different creative directions without breaking the workflow. For example, maybe Scene 2 feels too slow. You can instantly duplicate it, turn it into a faster cinematic sequence, or add an entirely new transition shot between scenes. Or maybe you suddenly want a darker cyberpunk style, a brighter commercial look, or more dramatic product close-ups. You can visually reorganize everything directly on the canvas without rebuilding the project from scratch. And this is something traditional timeline editing struggles with, especially during the brainstorming phase where ideas constantly change. Now it's time for the fun part, generating the actual visuals. And this workflow supports Dramina Seedance 2.0 directly inside the creation process. So instead of jumping between multiple AI tools, everything stays connected inside CapCut Video Studio. Now, I generate the scenes one by one. And what I really like here is that the platform keeps the project structured while generating content. You're not just producing random clips. You're building connected scenes that follow the storyboard and overall ad direction. The cinematic results here actually look surprisingly polished, especially for something created from a single sentence. You can generate dramatic product shots, cinematic lighting, motion-heavy scenes, stylized environments, and ad-style transitions, all directly inside the workflow. And remember, you get 300 plus free credits to test this workflow yourself. After generating the scenes, now we refine everything. This includes adjusting scene order, replacing shots, improving pacing, adding music, polishing transitions, and making the final ad feel complete. And this is another area where the timeline-free system stands out. Because instead of managing dozens of stacked tracks immediately, the workflow stays visually organized around the project itself. For beginners, this removes a lot of editing pressure. And for more advanced creators, it actually becomes a faster way to experiment with multiple concepts quickly. You can test different openings, alternate product reveals, faster pacing, or entirely different visual styles, without destroying the structure of the project. That flexibility makes the whole creative process feel much less overwhelming. So in the end, we went from one simple sentence to an ad concept, structured scenes, storyboard planning, AI-generated visuals, refined editing, and a final cinematic product ad. All inside one workflow on web https:/www.capcut.com.utm_source/chatgpt.com. And I think the biggest strength here is not just AI generation, it's the structure. CapCut Video Studio feels designed around the creative process itself. You're not forced into complicated editing immediately. The platform helps guide the workflow naturally from idea to final export. So if you're a beginner, a content creator, a marketer, an entrepreneur, or someone experimenting with AI storytelling, this is honestly one of the easiest ways to start creating structured AI videos directly on web. And now, click my link to try and test Video Studio for yourself. You can experiment with the timeline-free workflow directly in your browser. Definitely test your own ideas, whether it's product ads, gaming promos, fashion commercials, or cinematic AI videos, and see how far you can push the workflow.